enter in a number. We use the input that we learned in this chapter, but because it's a number, we have to convert it to an int or a float is the other option, but we're converting it to an int, which is a whole number, because by default, Python takes everything in strings, which are words. So these are numbers we're dealing with, so we convert it to an int. So those are done for us. That's how you take in a number. And then,
so you can't edit it.
You can't edit what's in the gray, but what we want to do is we're printing out the total fruit. So what we need to calculate is the total fruit in my example. It says assign, so number of jalapenos and plums are read from the user inputting. And then I want to assign total fruit with the total number of fruit. So mine, I'm going to take my variable total fruit is equal to the number of jalapenos plus the number in mine, plus the wrong key, plus the num of plums. And that's it. So we have input, calculation, and output. Now, when you run your program, then you have to go down to the black box where you enter in stuff. Yours, yeah, so yours is going to be total, this variable here, total fruit, and that's an underscore in between.
Oops, and ain't no space.
Right, exactly. You can't, if you have long variable names, you can always copy and paste them too.
I think, oh no, fruit
Equals. Yep, and then in all, you can just copy that if you want and copy that.
So because we can't assign input, so is that for the person who's reading the program to assign it, so I can just press check?
Oh, so yours is printing two things. It's printing the number of newspapers and the number of books. So yours says assign the number of books with the same number as number of newspapers. So you want to switch these around. You want to actually say number of books is equal to the number of newspapers.
Okay.
Because number of newspapers is what the user enters. And it says assign num of books to this is the same as the number of newspapers.
Okay, so that means the user will
enter that in.
The input. That's what
Yep.
I was, okay. I wasn't sure, I was like, why can't I, the programmer, enter it?
Well, normally we do, but what they're showing you, what the challenges do is they code some of it for you to get you started.
We learned the input on chapter 1.
Yeah, so they're doing that for us. So now I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna check it. My input, I think in this challenge, I don't have that black box, so it's going to supply some sample data and check my outputs. So it says, okay, if they enter in 7 and 6, is my mathing? Yes, it prints 13. If they enter in 32 and 25, that's right. So it compares, it checks those things on the background for us. If you get any error, it's likely a spelling error or your calculation's wrong. Just whatever the assignment statement is, these are kind of like story problems. You're just reading the story problem and interpreting it into code. Like assign this. Did both of yours work there? All right. Yours work, Charlotte?
Well, what is, you said the comparing?
You just hit check and then it will go through and check those for you. It'll compare, there's four sample inputs it gives. And you should have if it's done correctly, you have a check box here. And if it's wrong, then if you scroll down, once you hit the check, if you have a red X, then you have something wrong. And typically, yours should just be total fruit equals num apricots plus num pomegranates.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, typically in this situation, it will be something like, it'll say something like this variable is not defined, and do you mean this? And yes, I had a typo.
Yeah.
That's the most common error.
I think I understand the concept now.
Okay, cool. Let's finish out 3 and 4, and then we'll look at the labs for this chapter. So check until you get that blue check mark, and then let's look at the 3.
Sometimes I need to remember that.
So my third one is talking about, it's kind of the same concept where it's talking about the leaves. Oh yeah, okay, so you're on the third one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, number of onions, and it's, okay, they already have 14.
This is
Yeah,
subtraction.
well, if it says remaining, then sometimes you will, but again, if you don't like this one, I think this one is just adding. It's saying the shopper already has 14 onions and they're buying new onions, so now you're going to say the total onion, that's what you're printing out, so it'll be like the total onion equals 14 plus no onions. But if you are ever given a problem that you don't like, or you're not sure what it's asking, you can always click on this 3 and it will cycle through a different option. Number books. No, this one has it's a little different. This one is going to use multiplication. Number books times 4. So everyone's a little, you'll have to read it and interpret it. And then again, if you don't like it, just click on that number. I'll go to one that's a multiplication. This one here, I'll type up the solution real quick and then I'll hit the button to go to the multiplication one. But this one says we have a number of leaves that are read in from input from the user. Then the plant grows 3 additional leaves, so we want to write an assignment statement that increases the number of leaves by 3. So we're going to just say the number of leaves equals the number of leaves plus 3.
Yes, it's a great problem.
Because okay, if we just look at that statement, this is saying, all I did to write that is I write an assignment statement that increases number of leaves by 3, which is num of leaves plus 3. Well, I want to store that in what I'm printing out because that's my output. So if I let's see, I'll just write it here as a comment, but if in this example, number of leaves is going to be taken in when the person runs the program. So if the user of the program enters in, when they run it, if they enter in 13, all I'm saying is number of leaves is now equal to 13 plus 3. And then it prints out 16.
Yeah.
If I run the program and I have 84 leaves, then 84 is put in there, and now I have 87 leaves. So I only changed the number of leaves in my formula on the expression side.
Okay.
That's in this example. I'm gonna hit that 3 again to get another example, because I see some are a little different. This one, the warehouse inventory increases to 2 times as many items. So here's the multiplication. So I think the idea here is that we're reusing the variable, kind of like accumulation. So num items is equal to the number of items that we had. So take that in again. And then it increases times 2. So I'm just gonna do times 2. So I wrote an assignment statement that multiplies number of items by 2. And I think yours was like that. Let me know if yours works. I'm gonna check this one. And if you have an error, it's either going to be a syntax error,
Okay. Okay.
could be a logic error, which means your formula might be wrong, like you wanted to do something,
This one looks.
like I divided instead of multiplied, or subtracted instead of added, or something. And Nikayla, you're leaving about 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay, pay attention to that, so we'll go to the labs in here. Do you have any questions on that one? Did that work for you?
Yeah.
Charlotte?
I'm currently struggling on the last.
No, but I'm looking at it. Okay,
Mhm.
so this one I got.
Oh, roses remaining. It's going to match this one.
Roses.
So over here, you wanna say roses remaining
All
equals.
okay.
Mhm.
Mm.
You should say roses remaining equals. That was a subtraction, right?
Right. Yeah, it says.
That
Floor
makes
starts with
sense.
38 roses. Number of roses.
Yeah, I would say number of roses, or roses remaining equals number of roses minus 18, is that what it said? I wouldn't do it the other way.
I think it said -8 because it wanted to be 30 left. Equals number. Oh, yeah, I got it. Number of roses. -8.
Is that the third one or the second one?
That's still the second one. I did another one.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I was like, the second one has you using the remaining variable, and the third one has you reusing the variable. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead to 4. Let me see what your Let me see which one you're working on.
Number 4, because I understand, so what I try to do is like replace the concept.
Mhm.
And it says it's time, so I multiplied it by 3 and then add 5. And then I didn't know that I should put totals of pairs of foods. So I just did that. And then, here's the final.
Pair, capital P,
Oh, okay.
line 4.
Okay. Oh, okay. These small things. I like when we can run it on the
Oh, your,
labs.
this key is on here. Here, now go ahead and type. It was replacing the characters.
Okay.
Yeah, where you can put in your input, yeah,
Because they say like the best way to get good code is just run it little by little, and I agree.
yeah.
Because now I'm trying to figure out what you're gonna do.
Now you have a calculation error. So your code is right, which means your logic is correct, but your code is correct, so your syntax is correct, but your logic is wrong. You have something wrong with your formulas. So,
So,
okay, so we have 38 rows. So do number of rows plus 38, because you're starting out with 38. No, you were right. Here. We just want it, we're taking in how many, so if they enter in 8, you want it to calculate how many we had. So roses remaining equals the number of roses, but change that to an underscore. Plus how many we had in our inventory to begin with, which was 38.
it started with 38.
Yeah, that's how many we have in inventory. And then it says they're reading the input. So you work at a florist and they say, how many roses are coming in today? And you say 8 roses. That's line 1. And you want to figure out how many roses we have in their shop now. If we had 38, we're going to add 8 roses to the 38 that we had. So we started with 38. The user runs the program and enters an 8. It adds that to the 38 and then it prints out the remaining. So now if you check it, you can see and scroll down, you can see a couple examples. Remaining isn't, oh, you have a space there. Right there. Now if your input is 8, your output is 46.
46. Yeah, the starting what it wants to know, purchased.
Oh, if they purchase, so you
Yeah.
want to subtract
8.
30. Oh, that's where
Or
you
is
had
it
30. 38 is the number. Okay, so click up here real quick. I read that question wrong. And you had it, you were on the right track. 38 minus how many they bought.
I'll just remain equals
Yep.
38.
So if they bought 8, now
Mhm.
we had 38, we bought 8, that gets printed. I just read the question wrong. No,
So, yeah.
yeah, if we had 38 and they bought 10, we have 28.
Okay.
If we had 38 and they bought 21, we have 17.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that's going on. Now, hit next real quick. This one is showing you how to reuse the variable name. So here, before we had like the remaining variable,
Mhm.
click on there real quick. So this one is saying we're going to reuse the number of coins. So we're going to say num of coins equals num of coins. And it says, so this is the input that assigns how many coins that the person has, and then they lose 3, write an assignment statement that decreases the number of coins by 3. So number of coins is now going to be how many coins you had minus 3.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now
All right.
this one, we're reusing the variable in both sides, in this side, and this side.
Okay.
In the one before,
Okay.
we used what's left variable,
Yeah,
or what's a new total variable.
Yeah. right.
Now, okay, now go
Yeah,
hit next and then go to this one here. This is going to be using both of those concepts together.
Uh-oh.
And is it pair of boots, pair of sandals,
Boots, I got a pair of boots,
pair
yeah.
of boots and sandals?
Same exact thing. that-
Okay, that's it. We'll stick on that one.
I think my problem is they're not adding the 5 to my sandals, and I'm pretty sure my code is right.
Okay, let me walk through it here real quick. We have the number, let's see, the number of pairs of boots and pairs of sandals Kai has are read from the input, so that's done in line 1 and 2. How many boots do you have? How many sandals? And then Kai's number of pairs of boots increases 3 times. What is yours? Does yours say 3 times or what? Increases 3 times?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Kai receives 5 additional pairs of sandals. So first, we're going to write a statement to update pairs of boots and pairs of sandals based on those things. So that's our first step. So we're gonna say, okay, pair of boots is going to increase 3 times. So we'll say pair, and Charlotte, you should copy those long variable names.
So it's,
Pair of boots.
is it pair or pairs?
See, I should copy them too. It's pairs. That would give me a syntax error. I'm gonna copy it. Pair of boots,
You can copy it?
yeah, is equal to, and then I'm using Control V to paste it. So I'm updating, it says write a statement, write a statement to update the number, the pair of boots. So my pair of boots is equal to my pair of boots
The pair of boots is equal to.
times 3.
I got that.
Is that what you had?
Yeah, I had that part right, but the other part, they're like,
And just as an example, I'll just write a comment over here. That's the same as saying, okay, the number of the boots that I have.
Oh, mine is times 2.
Okay, yeah, mine's times 3, yours is times whatever.
Side,
That's the same as saying,
total pairs, the sum of the pairs of the boots and the pairs of sandals.
okay, we'll do the sum part in a second. I'm gonna show you just, oh, I can't type over here. But if the person entered in 10 in this first line, when it gets to this line 4, that's going to say, okay, the pair of boots is now equal to 10 times 3. Because I increased it, increases 3 times. So now I have 30 boots. If they had 10, does that, and the number of boots that I have increases by 3, that will do it. So now my next line is I want to update the pair of sandals, and in my program, Kai receives 5 additional pair of sandals. So my pair of sandals, let me copy. So I'm gonna say my pair of sandals now is equal to my pair of sandals.
oh, I messed up with the word.
Plus
I gotta
5.
start copying.
Mine, I think, is plus 5.
Yeah.
Receives 5 additional pair. So again, if I enter in, if the user of the program enters in 50 pairs of sandals and it is an additional 5 pair. So my sandals are now equal to, let's say, 50 plus 5, which is 55, this one here is 30. I'm just writing these comments in the side for people to see, like, if you're walking through the calculations. So that's the first bullet point.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
Just copy that.
No, I'm saying just trying to download the process of how to figure it out. This one says.
Well, there's story problems. So what does
Right.
your second one say for sandals?
Well, it don't even instruct me first and then second, or you got that?
Well, no, up here where it says, in the thing where it says Kai's number pair of boots increases 3 times, and then the pair of sandals additional 5.
Right.
What
Yeah,
does
mine
yours
says
say?
that's simple. It says, the initial value of pairs of boots is read from the input.
Yep,
Assign pairs of sandals with the same values, pairs of boots.
okay, that would be this then. Pair of sandals, if it says assign pair of sandals to the same number as pair of boots, that's what it says?
Yeah,
Okay, so you're gonna say pair of sandals now equals pair of boots,
okay.
pairs of boots. Copy and paste so you don't have spelling errors. If your just for anyone listening onto this video later, if your program says assign the pair of sandals to be equal to the pair of boots, that's
Okay,
this line here.
equals pair of boots. Okay.
Yeah, my program doesn't say that, so I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna comment it out there. So Charlotte, when you're done, read me what the next sentence says.
Yeah.
Where come to realize that press?
Wait, let me copy paste. Lastly, assign the total pairs with the sum of pairs of boots and pairs of sandals.
So total pairs, is that in another bullet point?
It's all in one reading. I don't have bullet points.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't. That's why I said I don't.
I think you're reading further down than what
I'm 213.
you don't have. I swear we have the same program.
114.
Here,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I was saying. Okay, that,
Yep, that's in 3. Pairs of boots equals, or pairs of sandals equals pairs of boots. I don't know, that's a 0. No.
oh, okay. Pair of sandals with the same value as pair of boots, okay. Yep, take that comma out. Okay, that's that first thing. You don't have bullets. Then assign pair of boots with the sum of
Pairs
this
of sandals
and 2. Okay, so pair of boots.
and a pair of sandals sum.
Oh, so go to the end of line 4 and hit enter. Now this is your next statement. You're going to say pair of boots is equal to pair of sandals plus and 2 plus 2.
Okay. Pair of boots, 420 the first. Then assign pair of boots. Equal plus
Equals
equal
pair of sandals, the sum of pair of sandals and 2. So pair of sandals plus 2.
what?
It says in 2.
Oh,
Okay, and then hit enter because we have one more thing. It says lastly, assign integer total pairs as the sum of this and this. So now total pairs equals pair of boots plus pair of sandals. And then test it. Did you get yours, Michaela? Let me finish mine real quick, cause I was going off, I was reading hers differently.
What I noticed, my quota is right, but I did not spell sandals right.
Yeah, if you don't, you
Messed up the
know,
whole
that's
thing.
why, yeah.
Good too.
Copy
Yeah.
and paste is helpful. If you spell it wrong, then it will assign a 0 value, or it will give you an error if it's used in the calculation. So, I've done this, now it says, first, highest number of pair of boots increases times 3, did that, plus 5, did that. Now, first, write statements to update pair of boots and pair of sandals. Okay, did that. Then assign total pairs.
Mine is wrong, but I get it. I get what I'm supposed to do.
Total
It is a
pairs.
story problem. If I could
It is.
leave those verbiage out, integers and all that language, I'd be better.
It's the math part.
Yeah, it's just a story problem. Okay.
All right, there, I'm gonna test mine. Here, I just have the total pairs equals total sandals plus total boots. And then, let me just check it, make sure we're good here. Our output's done for us,
Mhm.
and I can come and check yours and
Well,
try to
that's-
figure it out.
Okay, let me see. Then-
But I do wanna do at least one of the labs,
Yeah.
and you have to go, so we only have 3 minutes.
No. My bus is at 8:30. I don't have to leave until like, I wanna say 8:20. It's right up there.
We'll go quick though. I gotta take out I'm getting an error on my comments, so I'm gonna take those out. I think I needed 3 forward slashes. If you approach these labs and the challenges like they're story problems and you break them down, I know math story problems are always horrible. You don't like
Really?
math, but that's what you
Yeah.
kind of have to do with some of these problems. So it looks like my program is fine. So let's look at one of the final labs.
Okay. Pair of boots plus pair of sandals. This is the first one. Plus 2 equals plus 2. Is that what I'm missing?
No, what is your error say below? Okay, the total. Okay, expected output. You don't have it. Let me see that.
Oh.
Total pairs is not. Let's let me look back up. Oh, yours. Total pair.
So
Oh, it should be in front of line 6. You should say total pairs equals.
Oh, okay. Somewhere. Equals should go somewhere.
Yeah, total pairs. Total. Leave it. Yeah, that's for the other variable though.
Oh, okay.
Equals. That's this key. Insert. There you go. Now type.
Total pairs equals pairs of boots plus pairs of
Sandals. Yep. When you if you are working on finishing one throughout the week, text me and I'll give you some of the solutions for chapter 1. So you
Okay.
have those to look at as an example, because that will help get it going.
Get it going.
Even with chapter 2.
Yeah, I'm getting, yeah, the story, I knew they were story problems, I just had to wrap my
Yeah.
brain around which parts,
If anyone
yeah.
wants any solution to the labs for chapter 1 or 2, just send me a text, because I do think that helps to see some solutions in the beginning,
Yeah,
see what you're trying to accomplish.
yeah, so you can know what you're reading,
Yeah, it makes this
try to
hard.
decipher with story problem.
we're gonna look at 1, 2, 3, we have 6 labs. We're gonna look at 216. That one, you can ask me for more later during the week when you're working or on Wednesday even, but 216, that's a good one to look at.
I gotta go back. I don't know why it makes these.
This is the expression for calories burned during workout. Because it's similar to what we're doing in this program where we're doing an input, a calculation, and an output, what we just looked at with the challenges there. Everybody should have the same one when you look at it. Did you have that? Do you have this one? Find it? Yeah, and look at this formula. That's a long formula.
Right, I want to say, scary.
It is very, yeah.
But it's just a long story problem divided by,
It's the words.
Yeah, and now you can use these variables as your variable names, unless they already have some of it coded for us, and then we want to use the same thing. So this program, we're trying to figure out how many calories we have lost in a workout. So in order to do that, we need, these are some of the things we need. What our age is, what our weight is, what is our heart rate during our workout, and how long did we work out? But based on this scientific formula, then we divide all of that whole formula by 8.368, I don't know what, and that tells us how many calories. So, and the other thing that this program does is it uses the format function that's in Python. And it is explained earlier in the chapter. It's .2f, and that means 2 decimal, the F is for float, or format, and it means the .2 means 2 to the right of the decimal. So if this program comes out to 30.1259, it will say 126. Or I'm sorry, 0.12. It'll do 2 to the right of the decimal. So like if it were a money program, you would say 0.2f, and it would be 2 decimal places. If it were something that you wanted to run out 5 decimal to the right, you would say 0.5f, and then your answer could be like 1.12345. So that's the .f here is 2 to the right of the decimal. That's what that means. But you can change that. .1f, .5f, whatever f. So this program, we have inputs. We're taking in the user's age. It says right here, write a program using inputs. Their age, we're going to put in a variable called years. Their weight, we're going to put in a variable called pounds. Their heart rate, we're going to put in a variable called beats per minute, but no spaces. These aren't the exact variable names. These are just suggestions, so no spaces in variable names. And we need to enter in the time that they worked out, and we're entering that in minutes. So those 4 inputs, years, pounds, beats per minute, and minutes, we can call, that's what they represent. So we can call it whatever we want, and we're calculating calories. And those 4 inputs are in this formula: age, weight, heart rate, and time. Those are the 4 things. Then we're going to output the average calories burned for a person, and that's what we're calculating based on this formula. Output it so that it's 2 to the right of the decimal. So here's our sample output. It tells us what to do for our print statement. So if the input is 49, 155, 148, and 60, that means in this order. So this is a 49-year-old person who weighs 155 pounds, whose beats per minute is 148, and they have exercised for 60 minutes. Those are my 4 inputs. Then my program uses all of those numbers and calculates that they lost 736 calories. So something went wrong. Okay, so first we're gonna go down to this section and type our code. We're gonna start. I think that's just my error. It'll probably go away. Nothing is coded for us right here. They give us some comments. And actually they write the formula for us. But notice that if you're going to use these variables, age, weight, heart rate, and time, you can do that. But remember the rules of variable. If you read it or if you have notes, when you name variables, you can't have spaces in variable names. And it can't start, there's several rules. It can't start with a number or a special character or no spaces. So if I just copy and paste this as my formula, one, and then I copy and paste this as my print statement, this is a lowercase c here, but in my calculation, in the one that they given it, it's a capital. So they're case sensitive. So you can't, this formula will work if you just copy and paste it, but you have to follow the variable name, rule name. So we'll look at that. So the first thing we want to input is age, right? So we're going to type our code here. So we'll just go down and you can delete this if you want. I'm going to leave the formula there, but we're going to first input age.
Oh, you can delete that?
Yeah, now in this is a whole lab, so we can do whatever we want. We have our input, this is where we're coding, and then if you scroll down, you'll have your console, and that's where you can test your program. If I were writing this in a normal environment outside of zyBooks for grading, I would do something like a prompt that says, enter in how old you are, enter in how long you exercise. But zyBooks wants us to match up exactly. So we're just going to enter in age. And we're going to do an input statement. But remember, it's not just input like that. That's how we would take in a name. But we want to,
INT.
yes, we want to convert it to an int because it's a number. So we take that input statement and send it to int by putting parentheses around that whole thing. It looks like that.
Oh, I was confused with those two.
That's how we take in a number, and because it's used in a formula, it has to be a number. We have to convert it to int or we're going to get an error. Now I'm going to leave mine. If you called your variable age something different, like years, that's okay. If you called it something like how old, as long as there's no spaces and you follow the rules of naming variables, that's fine. I'm naming my age all lowercase. So when I reference that later on, it has to be all lowercase because those case is sensitive. Now I'll take in weights, or I could call this pounds. Like how many pounds do you weigh? And it says entered in as a whole number. So we're going to just convert, we're going to do this the same way. You can call it weight or pounds. I'm going to call mine pounds, and I'm going to take that in as input. And you do the same for the next two variables. Heart rate,
Make it be a whole number.
int is a whole.
Oh, it will automatically be what?
Yes, if you try to enter in like 142.5, it will just truncate the 0.5 if you have it input as an integer. The other type of input you can do is a float. I'm gonna take this out. But if, say, if you did wanna do that for pounds, let's say, I'm gonna take this out, but say I do wanna enter in weight as a decimal, I would convert it to a float so that I can take in that 142.5. Otherwise, if it's an integer, it's a whole number, float is a decimal.
Okay.
So because this program calls for integers, we're gonna leave it at ints. Now we're gonna take in our next input. We have 4 inputs, right? We have age, pounds, heart rate, and time that we exercised. So now we'll take in heart rates. You can do the underscore, like zyBooks does that. Heart rate, you can do it as one word or camel casing. I like to use camel casing when I have 2 words like heart rate. This is an example of that.
I'll do the underscore.
Yeah, underscore, Python does underscores. You can use capitalization, but again, just remember, you have to capitalize it later on when you use it. I like camel casing just from when I was taught, but you just have to follow the rules. You know, name it something that it represents. No spaces, it can't start with a number, it can include a number, and it can't have a special character in there, like a asterisk or an exclamation point. And then the last one is represents the how many minutes that they exercised. So you can call that time, or you don't want to call it hours because we're entering in it as minutes. We can just call it time if we want time, which represents how many minutes they exercise. So whatever you want to call it is fine. We're gonna, again, that's a number, so we're gonna convert that to an integer. One of the most common errors here is check your parentheses. Make sure.
Oh yeah, I have to get all my eyes focused on them because they
Yeah.
make you get all cross-eyed if you don't know what you're looking
And use the auto tab, like the tab will finish for you. Like if you open one, it'll put the close in there for you if you tab.
at. Oh. I don't know.
So ints, and then, you know, if there's an opening, make sure there's a closing, and if you click on one of them, it will match it up for you. So, okay, now the formula, which is presented like this up here, which is this times that plus this times that, blah, blah. This, with the formula here that it has every operator: multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. It follows the order of operations, which is parentheses first, and exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. So that's the order it'll go, unless you put parentheses around what you want to happen first. Now, I want this whole part to go first before it multiplies by, and multiplication would come before addition or subtraction. So we have to pay attention to parentheses. Now they break it down for you. In this formula, it's correct. So we can copy this. And put it on your next line after we do our inputs.
Is that Central B to paste? No, Central.
Control C will copy and Control V will paste.
Yeah, and that's how it's what is making you do some programs. You have to use that command.
That is true, yeah. Or you can highlight it and then right click
Yeah, I think it's making you do that command.
You can right click and then do, copy, and then go down to whatever line and paste it. Don't run it yet, because
I don't think it's letting me copy paste. I didn't let me copy paste. I have to do that command.
I
Once
do
you copy-
control C. Oh, it might not. I always do control C and then control V.
Yeah, sometimes some programs.
Now, when you copy, if you copy and paste something, make sure you're not copying one of the comments, so you don't have any of those in there.
Yeah.
And then go through here, they have it set up for us already, so we have all the parentheses in the right thing, because parentheses happen first. But change your variable names in here so that it matches what you have in your input. And then also the output is done for us already, so we're gonna change that calories to a lowercase c.
And the heart rate
Probably
too.
change my weight to,
Is heart rate equal to
Yep.
capital?
I'm gonna change my age to age with a lowercase a. My weight, I called pounds.
Okay.
Heart rate, this, we don't have spaces, so whatever you called your heart rate. I do camel casing, so I'm gonna change that, heart rate. And time, mine is just a lowercase t.
Okay.
And once you do that, if you look, I wanna end here so you can take up and we can fix any problems you might have. I don't want you to miss the bus, but the output is coded for us right here at the top of in the description. So we can go up there, control C, and that's what we're gonna paste down there. That's how they want the output formatted. That's why I had to change calories to a lowercase c, so it matches my output. Let me run it, test it. And then I can come and help you guys real quick. I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna hit run up here and then go down to my console window. Invalid. Oh, I think I typed something on there.
Is those parentheses in there?
Wait, let me hit run again.
also happen.
Mine is the same. It says it's a syntax error, invalid character, and it's saying it's the quotations inside the F calories, inside the print function.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
I don't. Is that a single? Those have changed, right? Let me see at the end of this line if I have something at the back here. I didn't see.
Is it a dash? Heart rate? I got calories.
Let me take out. I don't think I put anything in this line one. Oh, when this X, we need to change that. That's what it
Okay,
is.
I was like,
Yeah, like,
what
what the
was
hell?
it? That makes sense.
When we look at that formula that they gave us, they used the X, and not the,
multiplication.
yeah, and not the asterisk for multiplication. So wherever there's that X, change that.
Yeah, because they were telling me it was that line too, and I was like, is it my spelling?
Yeah, that's what happens when we copy and paste it.
Yes, because they're still saying something.
Yeah, if you're ever looking at code in like Word and you copy and paste over to compiler, just a heads up, that also doesn't convert properly. Now when we run it,
Also, check your minus sign.
oh, check the minus and the plus.
Yeah,
Oh, minus are probably dashes. Yes,
because it's still giving me a thing and
yep, minus is a problem.
Yeah.
Good. Let's check our, whoops. I think the pluses look fine.
Yeah, the pluses are green. That's how I identify if it's working.
Oh, yeah, that was a smart move.
Oh.
Okay, it's 8:22. Where do you have to go to beat the bus? You better go. I don't, or I can leave and drop you off wherever you need to go, but I don't want you to miss the bus.
Decimal. Yeah, where you
Okay.
going? I was thinking I could take you. Where you going?
My house or my apartment.
Where?
Northeast Grand Rapids. Okay. It's near Leonard and Emerald.
I like
Leonard and
Valley.
Eastern. You know Leonard?
Yeah, I can take you this time.
Really? Okay.
What time is your babysitting job?
It's 9.
At 9?
Yeah.
You just gotta leave before then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I will live that
We
way.
got about 20 more minutes, I guess. 5, 10. We have about 40. She gonna be there at 9. Probably.
Yeah.
It's by your house?
No, they're coming to my house.
Oh, cool.
My apartment. My roommate's okay with it.
Oh, nice.
Thank
There-
you.
Yeah.
I told her too, I live that way. I can always try.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no guarantee my car will start. Okay, so now we
Well,
figured
I'm
out,
still getting the error and it's saying invalid decimal. Let me look.
did you get to an input? Let me run mine, test it, and then I'm gonna, let's see, I'll say I'm 25,
Saying print.
Maybe
and
the parents have a close friend.
58 pounds, my heart rate was 206, and I exercised for 55 minutes,
In the
and that's how many calories I lost, and it says, and that's the 0.00, okay.
You don't want that F in there.
Boy, did you copy from the example up here?
I did too.
Does yours give you a problem?
You don't-
Oh yeah, I have an arrow at my console, but my arrow is saying it's the line where I add everything up together and multiply.
You don't want the 2F is what I'm saying.
Okay, here's my whole program. Mine looks right. When you run it, does it allow you to do input?
What? How did you get that?
Okay, wait, let me see. Maybe I'll need yours.
Run, if your code is like this, let's run it again. Does yours run? Did you run it again?
It runs, but I get a file arrow in my console.
And you changed your minuses, your minus. This is what it just stops here. It doesn't give us any prompt, so it
Okay.
blinks.
It's gonna read.
Mine gave me an error. It didn't even do that.
Okay,
Did you just copy paste yours and didn't change nothing?
What? No, I changed some
I
things.
mean, oh, you have a indentation in line 7. Those should be tabbed back.
Those simple things I never noticed. That's my problem.
Yeah, and line 8 is the same way.
I didn't even do this. No.
Hit backspace or delete. I'm sorry, delete.
Delete.
Yeah. There you go. They all have to be aligned. When we get to the 3rd chapter, things are tabbed over and they make a difference. Now your program should work. Okay, we have to change this calories to a lowercase c, remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that-
See that?
In our output.
Oh, wasn't it?
Mhm. Just,
Okay,
we have, just because all of those match.
It is a calendar.
Is that a capital W? These variables in here have to match exactly,
Okay. The weight though.
these,
It never said.
It is so funny how the little things when it comes to coding really
Change
matter.
that line 7, just the calories. I don't know. And then hit delete, like, or just click on the lower, it should just be the lowercase one. All right, you have to hit delete, it's just adding on there. Delete all the rest of that junk. So, yeah. Okay. Is it now, okay, age matches here, weight matches, heart rate matches, and time matches. Okay, you should be good now.
Stop.
Because it's in the middle of running, so just hit stop and then run it again. Okay, now down here, now you can enter in, remember, it doesn't give us any prompts, so enter in an age is the first one.
Age.
Nope, no, a number,
Oh,
like 52. Yep, yeah, these are these are good, 40, because this should give us the same output, so now hit enter. And now enter in the 155, I think was the next one. Hit enter, that's
age. Weight.
heart rate is the
Heart
next
rate.
one,
16.
and then the time, yep. Now hit enter. And it goes into the background, it calculates that these are your numbers, that's how many calories you'll lose. And that should be it. And then you can hit submit for grading and that one's done, did that work?
Yeah, but what do I put in my console? The numbers up here?
Yeah, you can enter those in, or you can enter anything you want in.
So age, weight,
Yeah, so they give you sample and
Okay.
sample,
okay, and time, okay.
you can enter, yeah.
So in the black box, you can put whatever you want,
And
they don't give you.
Right.
A scenario.
Right, they don't, like, the first challenge that we looked at where they threw in numbers,
Okay,
they don't do that in the labs.
okay,
But they do, if you look up here, they do give you an example so you can check it. Like, if your
Okay.
input is this,
okay.
then this is what you should have. But really, as long as you enter in any 4 integers, you will get a number out. So, when I run mine again, I can enter in anything. So if I'm an 80-year-old, the next input is who weighs 105 pounds.
How much is a heart rate? Heart rate.
Heart rate,
Is how fast
how many beats per minute?
a minute?
Right. 120 is a good number?
Well, and if you're exercising, it should probably, let's say maybe 155.
I think for the burn calories, you need at least 120, that's what I read.
Yeah, 155, you're really
Yeah,
exercising.
right.
And if I'm 80, I'm probably only gonna,
No.
let's just say I'm 125.
You just stretching out your legs.
Right. And I exercise, the last one is how many minutes, so if I'm only doing 15 minutes, I'm gonna lose very little calories, 'cause I don't weigh that much, I only weigh 105. 151, and that's only exercising for 15,
And that ain't even a Snicker bar.
right? It's not even what I ate while I was talking. Better exercise.
It's so weird that they're playing right along with what we talking about.
That's quite a one. So when you submit for grading, that should work. If you get an error when you submit for grading, you have another problem and you have to fix that. That's usually a runtime error is what that's called.
Vic is really satisfied.
We
Pretty cool. I like that. You know,
See, that's
we're on the back end of how we do regular stuff, like, we just wanna figure out how to calculate this, but people put in all this work.
Yep. That's a whole program. Let's do one other one real quick. I'll go through real quick. 214.
Uh-oh, gave me the error.
When you went submit for grading,
Mm-hmm.
what did you hit stop? Or are you done with the input? What kind of error did it give you? I got 10 out.
Sisters.
It's in red, that's on the.
Oh,
Underscores.
I'm gonna show you 216 real quick. Lab 216. I'm sorry, it's not 216, 214. Yeah, that's a weird one. Heart rate. Calories prints. What's this word got messed up again? Calories. Where did that print come from right there?
What? Oh, no.
It just should be calories. Equals. Wait a minute. You got. I don't know what the heck happened here. I think you copied and pasted something there. There you go. It was working. This is your formula. Calories equals this. You had copied this and pasted it in that, and then it freaked out.
It was freaking out, I didn't even know it.
Now you can just hit submit for grading. You don't have to go through the input anymore. Yeah, you can. There, I'm gonna give 214. That's the one. This is just a kind of a weird program, so I'm gonna show you a solution and then you can code it and walk through it, how this is helpful. I'm gonna go to 214. This is showing floor division. Did that work when you submitted it?
Well, I should have just pushed submit, like you said, because now I typed something in there.
What
It
type in?
won't go away.
You typed in the box?
Yeah.
You can just hit submit for grading. That's the whole program.
What just happened?
I just copied and pasted it in there.
I mean, it did let me submit for grading, but why did you copy that from? It's acting all funky.
My other window. I have another window open over here. But I'll explain it just as soon as Charlotte gets to that one.
Well, you said which one, 214?
214. Yeah. That code that you have there will save. If you didn't hit submit for grading, it'll still be there.
Well, I did it gave the submit, but that black box is still funky. How do you get rid of it?
It will go away when you go back to it. 214. So this program,
Lab divide.
yeah, I just gave the code, but let me explain it. Divide by integers. When you have integer as a whole number, and what you're going to do here when you divide by any number, you'll get a decimal. So we only want to look at the whole part of it. So we're going to use in this chapter, it explains a mod operator, which is a remainder, and then the floor operator, which is 2 forward slashes. That's the whole number. part of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're using floor division. So we have, so if an input, here we have, we can start by writing a program that reads in two integers, user num and division number, or div num. So those are my two inputs. If you just start with that, we can do that because we know how to read into input. So we're gonna go down, and that's what my line 3 and 4 does. I take user num equals int input. I'll leave that up for a minute, and div num equals int input. This line 3 and 4, that's the first statement there that says,
I have line 3 and 4.
well, you can put it on anything. Well, yeah, you can,
put pound, get input.
no, that's just documentation. You can delete, you don't need that.
Okay.
You can just start it like that if you want. Those are my two inputs based on what my story problem said, which
The color seems off, like my user num.
It is.
knows. User num, you can call it whatever you want. I'm doing user underscore num, div underscore num. Make sure your tabs are all the way tabbed back and you don't have spaces, and then your parentheses open and close properly. Now, no matter what, we're gonna end here in just a couple minutes so that you can get to the house. You guys can get to where you need to go. And you can take a picture of this code if you want. There's my input. Now the next line says we're taking in as input and outputs those numbers divided by, or it outputs the user num divided by the dividing number 3 times using floor division. So all we're doing, it says just do it 3 times. So we're just repeating the same formula basically. And each time we're printing it out. So the formula is then going to be user num equals user num divided by div num, but we use the floor operator, which only returns the whole number part of that formula. And then we print the number, and then we divide it again, print the number, divide it again, print the number. So that's the whole program right there. And the only thing that's a little wonky in this program is it could say, write a program that adds, and we know what the addition sign is. The only thing that's new here is that it says floor division, and that's the 2 forward slashes. And that all that does is returns a whole number. It just truncates the decimal part. That's the only, it does division, like if user number was 5 and divided number was 8, it would say 5 divided by 8. And then it only looks at the whole number part of the answer, just ignores the decimal. So we use 2 forward slashes. So line 6 and 7 are just, once you get 6 and 7, you can copy and paste that. The only difference with the last line is that there's no end statement there.
Why?
Because it's because we want the cursor to end on the line that we're on and not, or we want the cursor to end one spot down You know how sometimes they want us to end down one.
So the forward slash is what did you say?
That's called the floor
Okay.
division operator. And yeah, it's something in math. It just looks at the whole number. So if my input was 5, well, if my input was say 14 and divided by 3, that's my division number. If we did that, it comes out to 4.66667 or whatever. All what would be stored in our answer is just the 4.
Oh,
It just truncates, it drops the decimal part.
okay.
The mod operator, which is the percentage sign, does the opposite. It only looks at the remainder, what's left. So if this is floor, so it only look at the 4 part. If it were a division sign, it would only look at the 0.66667 part. Those are the differences between those two. Have I ever heard that in? I've never done or used that in math. But there is a purpose for it. I just think it's something that we don't use very often.
I've heard that too.
Floor division, it's not part of standard math notation.
So is it just only included?
It's, it's only that the operator, the 2 forward slashes, I think is only in Python. But it's used in there are ways in other languages. It's similar to rounding down to the nearest
Yes, that's
whole
what I
number.
noticed.
So other languages just handle it differently. Like C++ would just truncate it, just cut it off if it's an integer. So you don't even have to use that operator. You would just declare it as an int, and that's all it would look at. Every language is a little different. So if you type 6 and 7 correctly, then you can copy that line again, and that's the end. I'm gonna stop the recording now. And it is 8:44, you guys. Oh, so you know, you can take a picture of that if you want.
Okay, and then when it comes to the console, we just add in like
Yes, yep, you entered 2 yes. And like I entered in 14 and 3 as an example. You can enter that when you run it. And I think they give you 2 higher numbers. They enter in 2002 as inputs.
oh, that's so cool, I got it. That is pretty cool. It's like, I feel like this seems advanced. I think it's the floor division. That really got me like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a new concept for most of us.